Play a clip. Just say the thing you told me, Nick. I'll put it up on the screen. It will wreck him. I've never told a soul. Put it on the screen. The first time you were with April, what happened, Nick? He lost the first time I was with her because he saw blood all over them sheets.
Rat packets.
Oh, my dick is 5 inches long. You're like, ooh, that's kind of a weird dick. But
remember that. If you say my dick is 5 inches long, Aaron thinks that's a kind of a weird dick. Now, again, I'm not here to talk about dicks or your dicks or my dicks, plural. The average dick is around 5-6 inches. This is average. 5 inches is not a weird dick. Go ask the women in the room. Every guy wants to pretend like they're fucking, like they've got the hammer of Thor down there. You don't. You don't. The exception of Arcada. Me, you, most guys, average cock. Just an average. Just a decent, wholesome, all you can eat Sunday dick. You know what I mean?
if you're 3'10",
but Aaron's reaction to a 5-inch dick was, it's kind of a weird dick. Listen to this.
that's fine. It's like if you say, "Oh, my dick is 5 inches long," you're like, "Ooh, that's kind of a weird dick."
So if somebody says my dick is 5 inches long, you go, "Ugh, that's kind of a weird dick."
But if you're 3'10", like, you know, that's gonna look decent.
Ready for some cope?
It's like, I feel bad. Like, let's say you're 7'2" and your dick is 7 inches, 8 inches long. It's like, it's not going to look that big.
Now, Aaron fancies himself tall, even though to me he's a shrimp. He says he's 6'3". Didn't his license say 6'2"? Anyway, basically what he's saying there is, look, I have an 8-inch cock, but on me, because I'm so tall, it looks small.
Why does it have to go to dicks?
I don't know. It's your show.
Why?
I don't know. It's your show. It's possible that you're
gay. Why does it have to go to dicks? Yeah. So Caliente, if you're 5'1" and you're a B cup, that's fine. How's that? Now, Caliente can go. She can go to work happy today, knowing that the fucking overweight guy and all of his ugly fans gave her the blessing and that it's okay. Turd Burglar says, "Fuck doll sized, nice." Yeah. Okay. You know what?
What?
I was gonna say something, and I'm still gonna say it, but I stopped myself because it sounds wrong. But I was going to say, are dicks getting smaller?
Yours is.
Because Pistachio says 5 inches is average. When I was like in high school or whatever, it was always 6 inches as average size.
No, that's just what guys would tell themselves.
Dick. When did it become 5? Oh, you know what? Maybe, no, you know what? That's really fucking racist. What is the average peener size?
That's a Midwest. I'll never forget that in my life. I mean, just saying the word peener is insane. I was watching Bill Engvall do stand-up once, and he had chosen. Now, again, you can put anything in your stand-up act you want. He chose to talk about his dick. Fine. A lot of comics talk about dicks and dick, pussies and butts. Every time Bill Engvall, here's your sign. You remember that guy? Blue collar comedy. Every time he was talking about his dick, he would say wiener. And he would say it straight-faced and seriously. Like, and every time my wife sees my wiener, she puts it in her mouth. And I'm just like, I ain't going to turn down a girl sucking on my wiener. And I was just like, Like, you're a man in your 50s talking about your dick, and you look, if you're in your 50s and you're like prude or Christian or just private and don't want to talk about your dick or say the word dick, great, fine. You're a man in your 50s who's chosen to talk about your penis, and you keep saying the word wiener. I can't take you seriously as an adult. And now Aaron's saying peener. What's the average peener?
Maybe no, that's, you know what? That's really
Like, I'm not even kidding. It threw me. I had to turn it off. I was like, I can't watch a grown man say wiener.
fucking racist. What is the average peener size?
And by the way, this is not the first time he Googled that. Don't ask me how I know.
5.1 to 5.5. Yes. No.
One more time.
5.5. Yes. No. Fucking God. I told you. No. Oh boy, they got all kinds of measurements. Who are the fucking gay guys who are doing all this dick measuring?
As Adam Carolla says, I measure from the center of my asshole.
I feel like this is just guys with small dicks throwing numbers at us. Oh, look at this chart. Oh, come on. That can't be the chart. Look at that.
Now, again, whether it's true or not, Nick Ricada says Aaron has a little button dick.
That's the funniest fucking bar graph I've ever seen. What's the, why is it going down? What's the, oh, you know what it is? Africa, North America, Europe, Asia. That's what it is. Oh, wow. Is this true? Mecca Jones says the fatter you get, the smaller your peener get. That can't, no, that's not possible because your dick's not going to change size just because.
Who doesn't know this? Visible link. The fatter you get, it's like guys get a fupa, a gunt, if you will, as it were. Take it for what you mean it for. And everyone knows this and has heard this. Aaron is 38 and has never heard this before. He has no idea what anybody's talking about.
Because you're like, it's an organ. Like, your kidneys don't get smaller. I don't think that's accurate. Is it? I don't know. I'm going to get super skinny now. See if my cock grows. It's motivation.
Ricada says, when Aaron walked up to me and someone else naked in the room, he was hiding his dick in his hand and said, "This is why I don't like being naked." Your dick? Your dick is why you don't like being naked? God.
Just because you're like, it's an organ. Like, your kidneys don't get smaller.
Watch that arm.
I don't think that's accurate. Is it?
Watch.
I don't know. I'm going to get super skinny now. See if my cock grows. It's motivation to eat better.
Look at it.
I guess. Somebody says,
whoa.
Aaron definitely has took a tape and measured his dick.
What's going on there? You see that?
Cock grows. It's motivation to eat better, I guess. Somebody says, Aaron.
Are you jerking off under the table? Or are you just nervous talking about cock size? Are you just nervous talking about dick size? Because why is your leg shaking? This happens the whole show sometimes. You're just shaking.
Definitely has took a tape and measured his dick. I do know in college, one of my girlfriends in college.
Listen to this. This is what's going to make Nick come right in our chat.
she wanted, like she used a remote control and then used either a ruler or a tape measure. It's fucking weird. But she was really hot and kind of crazy, so I let her. It's never good. You know, here's something you don't want to do. When you're 19 years old and a girl measures your penis and she tells you the number and you go, yes!
Hold on, she used a remote control and told you the number? Because, like, if she said 9, but she was starting from the bottom, I don't know if you know how a keypad is laid out, but that's on the bottom. You just said that she measured your dick with a remote control and then told you the number. Remote controls have numbers on them, but not useful for any kind of measuring. Dude, my dick is volume up long. My dick goes all the way to the back button. My buddy's goes all the way to source.
Don't do that. It doesn't make you look like you went into it with a lot of self-confidence. When she tells you the number, don't go, okay.
Like, again, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Do you fuck? Does your dick work? Do girls come back for more? Don't worry about it. You're not going to be the biggest or the smallest they've ever had. Don't worry about it.
Good. Wow. That's a load off.
He obsesses about the craziest shit.
Diane says, I spent 20 years in healthcare, and it's true. Oh, my God. Melton must have the smallest dick ever. Maybe.
Why am I on that mind?
Melton's making them feel. Melton's making them feel. Melton's making them feel. Melton's making them feel. Melton's making them feel.
Fuck.
That's what it is. Guys with small dicks dress their dogs up all funny and drive them halfway across the country for play dates.
Imagine having a girl measure your dick and you are the excited one, not her.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Driving your dog halfway across the country for play dates. I don't like, he's not being, I know he's trying to like burn me. I know he's trying to like, these are savage digs. Trust me. What is he talking about?
Approachable says, when she measures your shaft, don't say, no, you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to measure from back here. Yeah, there's a lot of things. If a girl's like, we should measure your dick, don't be like, all right, push it in. Like, there's a thing called the optical inch. I think it should count because the penis, it starts inside the butt. You start.
Hold on. Now he knows all about it. He knows about the optical inch, but a minute ago he was like, no way. Fat people have a smaller dick.
Doing that, it's, confidence issues right off the bat. And when you start to get an erection, don't do this. You're going to shit your pants, and that's going to be embarrassing. It doesn't matter what number she spits out at you when she's done measuring. You shit yourself.
What if she spits cum out?
That's what we call
A drink.
a deal breaker. Bappa Shab says breast segment 5 minutes, dick segment 2 hours. All right, look. We went back to
Nick's favorite part is coming up. You're not going to miss it. He told me about this today. He told me exactly where to go find it in the show.
menopause and tits. There's not really much to say. You got dicks, you got tits, you got average sizes. Women's are getting bigger, ours are getting smaller. These poor girls, they just can't catch a break. Yeah, I've got the biggest tits ever. Yeah, I look good. And guys are like, why does it keep going in? I don't know. Is it the milk? God damn it with the milk.
Humble brag. Humble brag.
MSO says, I believe they have a trick ruler for this purpose. Yeah, can we get a ruler that works like the colored paper coming out of the clown's mouth? That would be great. Dive Bar says you're supposed to start from the living room. We call it grading on the Africa curve. McBuster says if she needs bigger than average, those roast beef curtains are blown out. Move on. They don't get blown out. I mean, maybe.
Okay, here we go. This is it.
Children have an effect on your physical dimensions in general, but like this was like middle school and high school. We've talked
Listen to this. It's like middle school and high school. Listen to this. What happens here?
about this before. Like my friends and I, we would talk about like, oh man, that girl's cute. I like that girl. We get along really well in class and whatever. And they'd be like, yeah, she dated Nick, or she dated.
We got one!
Dated Jono, or she dated, Donnie or whatever. She dated, I'm just naming all my friends from school.
No. You're talking about dudes who blew out your girl, and the first name that came to your mind was Nick. Nick stretched her out, is what you're saying. And then he immediately starts saying other names. And then he says, I'm just naming friends I had in high school. And then he names a real friend. Watch this. None of the names he says first are real. He's covering for saying Nick. And then he says a real friend. Watch this. You got to see how this plays out.
We call it grading on the Africa curve. McBuster says if she needs bigger than average, those roast beef curtains are blown out. Move on. They don't get blown out. I mean, maybe children have an effect on your physical dimensions in general, but like this was like middle school and high school. We've talked about this before. Like my friends and I, we would talk about like, oh man, that girl's cute. I like that girl. We get along really well in class and whatever. And they'd be like, yeah, she dated Nick, or she dated Jono, or she dated, Donnie or whatever. She dated. I'm just
when I
naming
think
all
big
my-
dicks that leave a gaping vagina, I think
interrupt it.
Nick.
Way to interrupt it. But yes, that's what's happening.
Like this was like middle school and high school. We've talked about this before. Like my friends and I, we would talk about like, oh man, that girl's cute. I like that girl. We get along really well in class and whatever. And they'd be like, yeah, she dated Nick, or she dated Jono, or she dated, Donnie or whatever. She dated. I'm just naming all my friends from school.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
She dated Nick, or she dated
Right there, he knew.
Jono, or she dated, Donnie or whatever. She dated. I'm just naming all my friends from school.
Now he's going to name a real one. Now he's going to laugh because he's uncomfortable, and now he'll name a real friend. That's an uncomfortable laugh because he knows he just said Nick, and people are gonna catch it.
She dated Schaefer.
Now it's a last name. All of a sudden, Schaefer. That's a real friend. That's a real friend. He had to stop and think of an actual friend from middle school, and now he's moved on. But those first three, he said Nick, panic covered with other names, and then did an uncomfortable laugh. It's nuts.
We would talk about like, oh man, that girl's cute. I like that girl. We get along really well in class and whatever. And they'd be like, yeah, she dated Nick, or she dated Jono, or she dated, Donnie or whatever. She dated. I'm just naming all my friends from school.
Right there. Uncomfortable as fuck.
She dated Schaefer. She's cashed. That's what they would say. We were such little douchebags in high school.
Also, the first part's kind of funny too.
Well, in class and whatever. And they'd be like, yeah. This was like middle school and high school. We've talked about this before. Like my friends and I, we would talk about like, oh man, that girl's cute. I like that girl. We get along.
Is that how guys talk to each other? Dude, I like that girl. She's cute. We get along in class. I'd like to date her. That girl's cute. We get along in class. I'd like to date her. Is this the 50s? You can ask her to wear your pen?
Really well in class.
You go from like we get along really well in class to she's cashed. Bro, she's cashed. Nick blew her out years ago.
And whatever. And they'd be like, yeah, she dated Nick, or she dated Jono, or she dated, Donnie or whatever.
Show me the uncomfortable laugh after you tell us these are your friends.
I'm just naming all my friends from school. She dated Schaefer.
Why would you have to circle around and make up another name after you've given 3 examples if those were real friends? You caught yourself. You caught yourself out. Nick on the brain, Melton on the brain. I come up in conversations that you aren't, they have nothing to do with me. And just out of nowhere, you'll be like, oh, Patrick Melton must be the fattest guy. I am. If those were really your 3 friends, why did you have to come up with Schaefer afterwards?
We would talk about like, oh man, that girl's cute. I like that girl. We get along
Ashley Schaefer, BMW?
really well in class or whatever. And they'd be like, yeah, she dated Nick, or she dated Jono, or she dated, Donnie or whatever. I'm just naming all my friends from school. She dated Schaefer. She's cashed.
Are these friends from school in the room with us now?
So they would say, we were such little douchebags in high school. She's cashed. Like, we thought if a woman took a dick, her vagina just stayed that way forever. We thought vaginas were like your parents told you when you made a funny face. Like, if your vagina took a big one, it would just stay like this forever.
So the him holding his dick story was so funny. Aaron is super insecure about being naked. And
no. Unless he's shitting.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
If he's shitting in private, he's like, oh God, I got to get these clothes on. But no, he's super insecure about being naked around people. I don't know if you know this, but when you're on cocaine, like you want to be naked all the time. Or well, I do. I don't know. And everybody seemed to except him. And so I'm standing around the bathroom with Kayla and April, and we're all just naked doing coke and stuff, like, because listening to music. It's a big bathroom, and we're just hanging out. And he walks up naked, which is shocking because I've never had ever seen him naked.
Now was he just cupping his nuts, or did he also have his hand across his tip?
No, he just had one. He just had
like
one hand,
like Venus.
Yes.
he had one hand holding his button down, and he walks up and he says, he takes his hand off and he says, see, this is why I don't really like being naked. And then he went in this thing about how he's a grower. I was like, what are you fucking talking about?
We're all growers.
No,
I hope it grows when you.
And we're sitting there, and I'm just dumb. I'm like, dude, nobody gives a shit. Like, I'm standing around here naked. No one cares what you look like at all. But he was just so fucking uncomfortable. And it was pretty funny to me the whole time, because I was always nice to him. That
situation and be shy about your stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how you could, honestly, but I was always trying to be encouraging. I'm like, no, little guy, it's fine. Like, you're okay. Like, stop worrying about it. What do you care? Like, your wife doesn't care. No one cares.
Yeah, she's over it.
So like, you're fine. You're just a normal person.
All right, we got a lot of questions for you. Let's catch up on some of that.
I'm only insecure about being naked because I never fully went through puberty, and I'm a grown man with a hairless baby fat boy body and a button dick.
Oh my God.
Not inaccurate.
It seems to me, it seems like from Aaron, I think Aaron would probably have a regular, like, there's nothing unusual about it, is what you said, but
there is, but I'm not going to talk. I mean, there is something unusual about it, but I'm not going to talk about that.
Shut the fuck up. You're not. I'll kick you off this show right now. You better open your mouth.
Weird. That's never mind. No. See, unlike Aaron, I know how to not blow my load in one fucking.
You're saying there's something abnormal about his penis?
Yes.
Is he uncircumcised?
No.
Does it have an elbow?
Uh-oh.
Oh no. You're saying there's a nodule or a protruding pustule, or
no, we'll call it more than a bend.
Can you look?
Oh, no,
if you
like a
were,
tire iron?
if
Remember
you were
Deuce
a-
Bigelow? Remember the detective played by Dennis Leary and Deuce Bigelow?
No, nobody
Hey,
saw that.
No, then no one should. But he's
All right.
talking about his dick, how it's like narrow and it bent at the end like a kickstand.
All right, Nick, if you were, completely unrelated, I'm just wanting to record some voices to make your AI a little better. Could you record like an example GPS instruction as if you were about to go into an intersection? Which direction would you go?
Which direction would I would go right.
You would go right. So hard right, like at the beginning or end,
As in
or
What was
Hard
Aaron's
right.
penis, left or right?
Oh,
Hard right. That's what he's
I'm
asking.
missing the metaphor. I
right.
actually don't. I don't know the direction of the bend.
So you're
don't-
saying it's like, but it's like a tire iron or a water pick or something like that. It's
Like it's
a
not
bendy
just,
straw.
it's not just a curve.
It's a crazy straw. He's got a crazy straw penis.
Oh my goodness! You finally turned your phone on, you
It's
bitch.
been on, bitch.
And it's not. I've been calling you like
Look,
a
it's
jilted woman
well,
for
okay.
hours.
It's okay. It's like Skype, so it may have been like fucked up, or like the application may have been hung. I did restart it, and now it's working, but it was on. So forgive me. Everything in my life is falling apart
Yeah.
today, Nick. Okay, you wouldn't know what it's like to
The
have your whole
application may
life
have-
turned to shit. You wouldn't know.
I have no idea. But you did say the application was hung, and I know that doesn't describe other people.
Okay, let's get into it. Is this the story you told me? Is this going to be the story you texted me Saturday?
I think so.
Okay,
Probably.
okay. Good, because this is a good one. I mean, this is fucking insane. Please indulge us.
So, to just remind people, I very neutrally and encouragingly talked about Tiny Tadger's little hooked wiener, right? Like, I'm a very encouraging person. I used to have body dysmorphia issues. I was worried about how I looked for a long time. Dude, you saw his reaction when he saw the average penis size was 5.1 to 5.5 inches. He's like, yes! Like, he just squeezed into the top of the margin or the bottom of the margin. I don't know. Like, he's so excited. But he never told the story of a woman being excited about measuring his dick. Like, that's funny. Because if I told stories about people measuring my dick, I would talk about them being excited about it, right? Like, or I just wouldn't tell the story. But Aaron decided to respond to my very mild story, which was a response to other people's questions. I didn't go in there to tell that story. He decided to respond by saying, "I think about his dick all the time." I was like, "Well, no, I don't. I
Hey,
don't
we're
think
gonna
much
do
about it at all."
listen, we're gonna cover Aaron later. We're gonna go over all his videos. You called him to
I'm
tell a
not-
story.
I'm
Tell the
there.
story.
I am.
You're
Do you know
not.
how to set up a story? Have you ever set up a story in your life?
I mean, just tell the story.
I am. Okay, here we go. So I just thought it was fair, since Aaron said that I think about his dick all the time, to talk about something April told me. Which, again, like the gum eating story, I had nothing to do with this. I had no idea. And April told me because she found it very strange. One day, she comes up to me and she goes, "Okay, last night was really weird." And last night happened to be a night that she and Aaron were back at their house. They were alone.
Oh no.
And they had engaged in marital relations. And again, these poly relationships are really weird if you're not like used to them, which I am not. This is not something I've ever done before. And it's kind of hard to do. Like, you have to change your mindset and go, okay, I'm going to have sex with someone who's not my spouse. Like, it's very, very weird and very uncomfortable. And men have a physiology issue with this, right? Like, men have to have a physiological response to perform sexually. So you have to kind of get around that, or else you're just walking around with a limp noodle. And that's no fun for anybody. So Aaron and April were getting together in the middle of all this. And
How much to get rid of this
it
coked
might
up
be-
asshole?
More. More is the answer. So they were having their marital relations, and sometimes it could get hard to, even with your own partner, it could get hard to finish because things are different. Things are weird, and they're outside of your comfort zone. But Aaron is sitting there with April, and he whispers to her, "Tell me what it was like." to have Nick inside you? Did
So-
he stretch you out?
So hold on. It's a day off from Camp Polycule. They're at their house. They're deciding to fuck. And
Yep.
while
They're-
Aaron's fucking April, he says, "Tell me what it was like when Nick was inside you."
Yes. And he asks her specifically, does it stretch you out?
Does it
How deep
stretch
does it
you out?
How deep does it go? Like, these are weird questions to me because I don't think about this shit ever. But she said, yeah. And he instantly orgasmed. Instant nut on demand. So Aaron is sitting there having sex with a beautiful blonde woman. And what he needed to do to finish was ask about another man's penis inside of her. And that is a 100% true story.
K-Fall in the Great says SP giving Aaron oral is called draining the soft serve. Well, if you listen to a very angry, repressed homosexual, apparently I have like a 90-degree bend in the thing that I didn't know about.
Oh boy. We knew that this little piggy was going to spiral Aaron into recovery mode all weekend long. I can guarantee you this is what he was thinking about. And probably all week long, every show, we're going to get him having a little miniature cope session about this. There's only been 2 shows so far, and he's broken down about it on both. But would you like to see the first one? And by the way, on this little piggy, I called it. I said, we said it was bent like a kickstand. And I said, if you say it's a kickstand, he 100% is going. I called this Friday. It's on this little piggy. I said, if you say it's a kickstand, he's 100% going to go on his show and tell everybody Nick said I have a giant dick, like a third leg. It goes all the way down to the ground like a kickstand. I told you that's how he would spin it. I told you that from the very fucking beginning, and that's exactly what he's done. That's exactly what he's done both days.
We might get to a little of that. I know you guys hate it. I know you.
We might get to it. He's 3 minutes into his show. He says we might get to it. And if you know Aaron Imholte, we might get to it means we're going to talk about it right now because I'm autistic and can't let it go. Let's see.
You're bored of it. I know it's stupid, but
I know you guys don't like it. I know you're bored of it. I know no one comes here for the drama. It's like Ricada thinking nobody wants to hear that on his channel. They do. They do. They do's want to hear it on your channel. They do.
I guess a few guys got together and accidentally hit live stream while they were fantasizing about my cock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I were going to thirst openly after another man's penis, I certainly wouldn't hit start streaming. I wouldn't even hit record. I'd make sure I was far away from a microphone if I was going to do something like that. But yeah, Nick did a stream with Patrick, which the cokehead child abuser and the minor attracted person. It's not hard to be better than that, folks. It's really not hard to be better. But they went on and they accidentally hit streaming while Patrick was going.
By the way, still almost every day calling me a minor attracted person, pedophile. Still doing that. Keep it up.
Or he was horny over me. Either one's believable, sadly. But he goes, Nick, what's Aaron's dick like? And like the pedo apologist, camel Middle Eastern guy, he was, yeah, Nick, what's Aaron's penis like? And Nick's like,
Moody. His name's Moody. And he was white. He was going, yeah, what's his dick like? That was Moody? Got it.
Like, it's bent. It's bent weird. And Keanu called me and she told me about this. And while Keanu.
Wow. Now, people are saying, should Aaron be talking to a state's witness? Who cares? But Keanu is watching an LO and then calling Aaron, going, you see what Patrick said? You see what Nick said? You see what they're doing? I thought you guys, once the show was over, I thought you guys touch grass and go out and don't think about this at all. Whew. Rough stuff. Hi, you're on the Onions.
Hey, Patrick, I just want to point out that, he claims nobody watches your show and that they're just losers and everything. But he could just easily dismiss the comment on the screen, and instead he's telling his audience the entire story of what you guys said on your program. It's just unreal.
Yep. Because we're obsessed and gay.
Yeah. But if you take him at his word that his audience doesn't watch your show, they wouldn't have any of this backstory. But he's telling them the whole backstory. It's insane.
Yeah, well, he's got to get ahead of it. He didn't drink cum. That's why he had to tell everybody for a month he didn't drink cum. And now his dick is fine.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Anyway, Thanks, man. Great show.
Thank you. Appreciate the call.
Keanu's telling me, she's like, yeah, they're all like really strangely obsessed with your penis. And I go, well, Nick always has been. That's like it's unfortunate, but
classic Nick.
It's reality.
That's why I used to tell all those stories last year about Nick being obsessed with his penis. Oh, wait, that never happened. But now Nick was always obsessed with my penis. I just didn't talk about that. I talked about everything except that.
But she's like, yeah. And I listened to the description of my penis, and I thought to myself, I've seen my penis a couple of times.
Remember that joke, because he used it again on today's show. He thinks that's a very clever joke. I've seen my penis a couple of times. He thought that was such a good joke, he tried it again on Johnny today.
I have not noticed these features in it. In fact, the way I've always described my penis is, have you seen a penis? You've seen my penis. It is a remarkably average piece of equipment, boys and girls.
Wrong one.
There's
You said the secret word.
not much else to say. But yeah, he's not going to do well with that whole staying sober. And I mean, I guess, what do you...
So this is what, again, like, what? Now, Nick was on video and on audio, and you can accuse him a lot of things. I don't think he was drunk. I don't think Nick was drunk on Friday's stream, but this is where Aaron has to go. And who knows? Maybe he won't do well with being sober, but it has nothing to do with what's happening now. Where Nick said your penis is bent, and Aaron's response to that is Nick's going to have trouble not drinking.
You guys think if a guy, like, every time he's on the internet, which is all day long, got 5 kids, you're not taking care of them if you're spending all...
This is what every fucking idiot does to him. Kiki does it too. Why aren't you taking care of your kids? He's on a show for an hour. Why aren't you watching your kids? He was up, in Kiki's chat at 3 a.m. and she's like, dude, who's watching your kids right now? It's like, is everyone retarded? No, I'm just asking.
Your time on the internet, but you're only ever talking about my penis. That's gay, right? Like, where I came from, that
he only talks about your penis. That's all we talked about. It was a 3-hour show, and all we covered was your penis. Yeah. No, that's a good faith argument by a totally sane, secure individual. You're not self-conscious at all. This sounds like a strong man who knows his cock.
That's gay. Keanu also said, yeah, Nick was really mad that you wouldn't get naked and do drugs in the bathroom with them. He was being like, isn't Aaron lame? He wouldn't be naked and do drugs with us in the bathroom. And I listened to Keanu tell this story, and I went, yeah, no, that checks out. I
agree. I don't want to hang around with other dudes naked either. Like, I don't. So I'm on that same page. But you enrolled in that lifestyle. You encouraged your wife, and you said you wanted to be a part of that lifestyle. And then when it come time to put your bumpers to the your balls to the you're like, I don't want to, I'm not sure I should.
Definitely don't want to be naked with another dude doing drugs in a bathroom. That's okay. You know what? 1 for 2. Not bad. Yeah.
Like while he was doing all this stuff, he was fine with it. And the minute he's done with it and distancing himself from it, he's like, that's all gay.
So this dude's literally inside his wife and can't finish without asking him about Rekida's size and girth and whatever. Not
necessarily about Rekida's size and girth, but he wanted to know what Rekida's cock had done to that pussy.
Yeah, okay. So but Nick's thirsting for Aaron's button. Okay, cool.
Aaron likes to use Rekida's jizz as lube.
Or a nice mac salad dressing.
Oh, God, okay. That's enough out of you. Yeah, I think Aaron likes to go in after Rekida's cream pied up in them guts, and he's like, oh, God, you're so wet. And she's like, that's Nick.
Tay saying in the chat, that's extra faggy. Professor Tie-Dye says, steel toe kickstand crew. Yeah, apparently I've got this big kickstand penis. You
can call me Nannerpuss. And guess what? I love
cock. I called it.
Aaron, give him the old left hook.
Not one person used the word big. And I said, if you say kickstand, Aaron's going to say, they all said I have a giant big cock. No one said that. Matter of fact, we said you would say that, and that's not what we were saying. We called it a button. You never repeat that.
I used to call Aaron's dick the Muppet Baby because it was small and curved like Gonzo's nose. I called Nick's the credit score because it destroyed my life.
Again, if it's got an elbow down, then you could argue like, yeah, it's so fucking heavy, it's collapsed under its own weight. You could argue the city didn't do a proper inspection, or maybe there were some OSHA violations, and it just couldn't. It's so big and thick, it collapsed. He's like, nah, mine curves up. Mine curves up. It's dope. Oh, God, he's here. He's here.
Hey, Pores, check out Red Radio Net Free Show. New Mike David dropped. Mike slams Josh Denny, but no mention of Mr. French.
Fuck.
Be there. Way better than this fat Haggett.
Why would you watch and you hate it?
Guess what? How in the fuck is Stoney's Bar still 30 years old?
I don't know. That's a good question. Again, it's just a house, so...
It's a medicinal t-shirt. Just like my prescription pants you gotta pick up at the pharmacy each week.
A medicinal t-shirt.
¿Dónde está Abril?
¿Dónde está Abril?
I too blew up in April.
I too blew up in April. This face is so hilarious. You've already made it here. Hit the like button for the kickstand. Tell us again how yours goes up. I've always liked to think mine kind of goes up.
I've always liked to think that I have a mild, like a nice little up.
I like to think that my dick goes in and then right up to the G spot and just does a little bang, hammering on it. That's what I like to think. But that's just my experience with
Rod Pockets
thing. But that feels like I'm, talking like, yeah, my cock's like, it's big and it's nice little, little upward something for you.
April, tell me what it was like when Nick came inside of you.
April looks like a really cool bird today. I'll say it again.
You can tell when April started dating Nick because she started wearing like slutty shit. She was like coming out of her shell. Like she started like wearing all mesh and see-through shit and amped up the amount of turquoise dangling from every appendage.
My nigga, you pinch his tits like Ace Ventura in the projector scene.
They are perky today. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. You pinch his tits.
I think I've just got a dick. I hate to tell you, I didn't want you to know. If you've seen a dick, you've seen my dick. And hopefully, you haven't seen too many.
Why? He really is like in that schoolboy. He's like a kid. He thinks like if you've seen a lot of dicks, you're gay. I hope you haven't seen too many dicks or you'd be gay.
So you asked me a question on My Little Piggy. You said, was there any like crazy group stuff or whatever? And I had to think about it because there really wasn't. But there was this one time when I was with April, and then he came into the room and like did the whole, like he knelt down, grabbed her hand.
Hold on. You came into the room and everyone else decided to join in, right? Everyone else decided they were going to have fun in the bed.
Yeah.
But then Aaron...
Yes, except for him.
What did he
Who
do?
did not.
What did he do?
I was saying, he knelt down, like grabbed April's hand.
While she's getting fucked by you.
I mean, you didn't have to put it crassly.
Yes.
And then he went in the other room and cried.
No.
So,
what did he say? What did he say to her while she was? Come on, tell it the way you told me. Hey, you're all shy now.
Come on, man.
on.
Don't do this to me. He asked her how everything was, how she was doing. Give the old check-in.
I thought you said that he said, come on. This is about
Look, I'm not
Aaron.
getting
This
too
is
deep
making
into
Aaron
details.
look bad. Just say what Aaron said.
I don't remember exactly what I told you.
So it's fake.
It was no, it's not fake at all.
Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
You said that he came in the room, he refused to participate, and he took her hand and was telling her that he likes the way she takes it.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah. Yes. Again, I was being diplomatic in how I talk about this stuff because I don't
of course,
really want to get
I get it.
into too many salacious details. Like this stuff is all really weird. Like it's not my normal experience. Okay, this stuff is all very strange for me, and it's not something I'll probably ever do again either. Okay. It was an odd point in life, but that was a really weird encounter because it was like, well, I mean, like, I guess you could participate. And then instead it was like, no, I'm going to hold her hand instead and then leave. And it's like, oh, okay.
And then he went in the other room and cried.
Well, that was weirder.
But you said he went in the other room and cried and she had to go comfort him after.
Yes.
He cried. Why is he crying?
Again, well, because it's not, I mean, like, to give the sympathetic side, man, it's weird, right? Like, that would be a weird thing to walk in on that.
Okay. People are saying Aaron is a legit cuck. Like not a joke cuck, like an actual cuckold. Like he enjoys.
Guys, when someone trolled Aaron with an internet history that involved a bunch of cuck porn, he went to the police and said, that's fine.
That's true. You do need to know that when someone put out of internet history and Aaron, and it was literally like reading about Nick on Kiwi Farms and then going and watching cuck porn and then going to April's Twitter, Aaron went to the police and was like, they have my info. All right, that was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, no, I said earlier, the way he would finish is asking her about me, which was really awkward. Like that made me uncomfortable.
I mean, when you think about it, all porn is kind of cuckish. Like, even if it's just a guy fucking a girl, you're watching a guy fuck a girl and getting off. So, like, isn't porn cuckoldy anyway?
I don't know. I've heard we could get into the philosophy of that. I've heard that argument a lot from like the manosphere. I don't typically agree because I think for cuckoldry you have to have an investment in one of the parties, right? And with porn you don't.
Right. There has to be some
shame,
some shame component.
Yeah. And I don't understand that. I'm into a whole bunch of stuff, like as long as you're, with your partner and you're like doing it in an adventure together. Like I don't care what people do. I am not personally into shame and humiliation. Like that's a weird thing. I don't like it. I don't understand it. I don't like, but other people do that. That's fine. I don't give a shit, but that is not a thing that I get. The shame and humiliation thing. I don't like it for either party. I think it's very, very awkward to me. So,
all right.
Anyway,
Well, people have a lot.
I just wanted to.
People have a lot
some of that stuff.
Yeah, this is gonna cause him to fucking melt down. These two stories are gonna make him scream.
No, it's just fake internet stuff. Remember, none of it matters. There's no real life.
Well, he definitely reacts.
Internet,
he definitely reacts like they're fake.
Go touch ass or whatever.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Anyway, have a good one. Peace.
Bye. Fucking hell. These are bad.